What's up, fellas? This is Dhruv. I am your host and the founder of India's biggest tea library called Van and Tea. In Van and Tea, I intend to create a lot of videos about different type of teas that are grown in India or maybe imported from outside and exported from India. You would be able to find out for yourself which tea can do what for you towards the end of the series. This is episode 1. Before I start, I thought I'm gonna do a quick intro video about the tea. So this video is called The Story of Tea. I mean, where is it coming from? How was it initially grown? So, well, there are multiple stories around tea. There's not one story. This is the most relevant one. It is said that Bodhidharma, who was founder of Zen Buddhism, once upon a time he was sleeping under a tree in Nanking, in a place called Nanking in China, and he dozed off to sleep. So when he woke up, he was very angry. Of course, he was not supposed to sleep. He was very angry and he was guilty. So what he did was, as a punishment, he cut off his eyelids. That's like a very, I don't know, that's a bad punishment. But anyway, the ground where his eyelids fell, after some time there was a strange plant that appeared. Now this plant was recognized as tea. It had a quality to banish sleep, and thus it became tea. It was identified as tea. This is one story. The other story goes something like this, that Shen Nung, who was the second emperor of China, he was accustomed to drinking only warm water, lukewarm water. Once upon a time, while having lukewarm water, a tea leaf from the plant Camellia sinensis fell into his water pot. Thus, it gave a very refreshing. It gave a very refreshing aroma, and it had a beautiful flavor. So, this is second story around tea. I don't know which one is true. However, Indians, and there's one more fact. Chinese kept tea hidden from the entire world. They were the first one to discover tea. They kept it hidden from the entire world till 9th century BC. Now, it wasn't offered to any foreigner. However, one Buddhist monk from Japan took tea with him to Japan, and thus it. Tea traveled from China to Japan, and after that, East India Company took over, and tea became one of the most loved beverages in the entire world. In India, tea came pretty late. In 1774, a consignment of tea seeds was received in Calcutta from China. In 1778, Sir Joseph Bank, who was a part of East India Company, suggested that tea would grow perfectly well from 26th to 30th parallel of latitude, which is actually a geography in India. So 15 years later, he traveled to China, and he obtained details on how to cultivate and manufacture tea as a commodity, and thus a consignment was sent to India containing tea leaves and seed. Nothing happened after that as well. In 1819, David Scott, who was agent to Governor General in Assam, showed his interest in Bank's idea, and thus the consignment, which was earlier sent to India, it was ordered, and it was ordered from the Horticulture and Agricultural Department of Calcutta. Now, nothing happened after that as well. Shortly after, David Scott. And by the way, when David Scott ordered that consignment, which was there in Calcutta, the plant had already died, so nothing could happen. Shortly after that, Bruce brothers, who were pretty prominent in terms of the history of tea, Bruce brothers were traveling to India. Legend has it that Robert Bruce, who was the elder brother, he fell sick. So the king of Singhpur tribe in Arunachal Pradesh offered him tea as a medicine. So Robert Bruce discovered that tea exists in India, and his brother Charles Alexander Bruce claimed that he was the first European to have penetrated Indian forest and discovered tea here. However, this claim could not stay for long, as in 1841, Lieutenant Charlton, who was serving Assam during those days, claimed that he had already sent a specimen of tea way back in the year 1831 to Agriculture and Horticulture Society. So there were a lot of disputes at that time, as a result of which on February 1st, 1834, a tea committee was set up. Several employees from East India Company, 3 merchants from Calcutta, Dr. N. Wallish, who was a botanist to East India Company at that time, and 2 Indian gentlemen joined and created the Tea Society of India. Captain F. Jenkins, who had his headquarters in Jorhat. Jorhat is actually a place in near Guwahati, so Captain F. Jenkins, he had his headquarters in Jorhat. He became the primary source of information about tea, and he was actually assisted by Lieutenant Charlton. So that's the story of tea. During that period, East India Company had their monopoly in China with tea, but that monopoly came to an end, and then India became the second most important country for cultivating tea. And India started exporting one of the best quality of tea. At the moment today, India is very famous for exporting CTC, which is the black tea, and in India, Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Karnataka, Nagaland, Uttarakhand, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Odisha, Bihar. These are the states which produce tea as a commodity. Anyway guys, this particular tea here, it is called Orthodox tea. The one that I'm having today, it is from the tea garden called Thurbo. This tea can help you reduce anxiety, help you reduce weight, and there are a lot of other benefits. So in my next videos, I'm going to cover a lot of important questions which will help you decide which tea is best for you. I would see you guys next time. Cheers to the good time.